got another little project. Shabota's got some kitchen cupboards that she wants some extra shelves in. I said, no problem, I can do that. We have these leftover wardrobe doors that have got a nice surface on them that can be used for a shelf. Just got to cut pieces the right size and provide some props for them at the ends. I can do that. I eventually found my jigsaw in the workshop and split this down to the right width. Now I've got to go and see what width the cupboard is to know how long to make these pieces. First shelf set worked out okay. Didn't quite have enough material in one board or one wardrobe door to make the two sets of shelves. I did make the end pieces for the second set from the first door, but now I've got to take a 83cm piece off this with a good face on it, which means this side. So 50cm deep, 83cm long, and skip the end bits there, so I'll trim a few centimetres off. I just need that piece that's marked, so I'll cut that bit out and leave the rest intact for use elsewhere. Done. Now I'll go and install it. There you go, got a shelf in that one and a shelf in that one now. They should be plenty strong enough, but if not I can put a prop in the middle of the back if they start bowing down. We'll see. Shabota went out with Azra and Lizu and Serang this morning to go plant shopping. And that was what was left on the truck after installing a whole lot around the front, which I shall show you. So this is what she's installed at the front. So there's 5 on that side, 7 on that side, but there's 2 more actually up on the porch on the inside the rail. So she's just given herself more work, watery nose. Good one, Shabota. We did get the camera on the west end of the shed working. Ezra got up there and changed over the PoE splitter for me, but that didn't help much. So I had a couple of other things which are sort of an injector splitter pair. In the top end was just a dumb splitter and the bottom end was a dumb injector. So I just had to connect up a 12 volt supply to that at the lower end, and that actually has worked. So it was fine for a day and a half, and then last night it stopped working. Couldn't even ping the thing. So this morning I tried again, it was fine. So I have no idea. These things seem to have a tiny little mind of their own, and they get stubborn occasionally. But there we go, we now have the 2 cameras on the shed working, and they're both pan, tilt, zoom, so I can go up here and go to the pan tool, and there you go, I can pan around. Now the guys who installed that camera on the mount really didn't understand. So the plane of the rotation of the camera is in fact parallel with the angle of the roof, which is dumb. It should be horizontal, but maybe I'll rectify that by just taking the bottom back bolt out of the bracket and just letting it swing down and just hang from the top bolt. But now I can go around here and go back to large screen on that. So there's a pile of wood from the shed construction, still getting bits of it used. I can go around here now and look at the garden and pan up a bit. That's just a sparrow flying past. Got a bit of a plague of those in the shed. Even during construction you can see them there checking it out, say, well look, new condominium for us. I can tilt it down a little bit, pan a little bit to the left, Bit hard doing both these things at once. Trying to hold the camera, and I should actually set up a tripod, shouldn't I? Silly me. And we have zoom. So if I do zoom, I can sit here and watch tomatoes ripening. And by the look of that, we should be picking a couple of those. But yeah, so now if I do that and that, which puts across on the other screen, I can drag that back again. If I can find that, there it is. So drag it across to that monitor over there, and that's just YouTube up there. Americans learn, so she's learning interesting things. Okay, so that one's pan tilt zoom on the southeast corner of the house. Then there's the other 12, which are all fixed cameras. So currently there's 15 cameras, which some people might think is too many. Probably Jabida. But later on, when or if we do the aquaponics thing, I'll probably have at least one set up to monitor that and record, so that if people start lifting fish, we can identify them and call them to account. At present, I think probably the starting place for aquaponics would be in that little courtyard there, which is already covered by a camera which is recorded. I have to find somewhere new for the compact track loader attachments, but that's no problem. But yeah, so that's kind of a state of play with cameras. And what else do I watch on YouTube? I watch Arkansas State Police, state troopers doing pit maneuvers on cars at 100 miles per hour. That's pretty spectacular. Yeah, okay. That's where we're at. 15 cameras, all currently operational. The plants that were out the back were in plastic sleeves because they didn't have plastic pots for them. Plastic pots have arrived today, and they've been repotted and migrated out the front. So can't be many left. Well, we don't want to come too far up this end, otherwise they'll get in the way of the truck going around the corner. But there's some nice spiky ones here. That should be child resistant. And now Jabida's talking in terms of getting more plants for the front of the shed to try and soften the stark whiteness. She doesn't like the glare apparently. But I'm one of those people who says, what's it good for? Does it give fruit? Nah, don't need it. The chook shed that was formerly out the back here at Lisa's back patio has migrated down closer to the rice factory to take the smell of chook poo away. It seems like a good idea. So it looks like those guys are just cementing in the feet now. Nothing is ever as straightforward as it should be. That west camera stopped working last night about 4 o'clock. Working again this morning. I have no understanding of why. And then on the front of other technology, my NAS can't see drive 0 at the moment. The other day we had a power outage here. I don't know what happened, but the off-grid system stopped sending power to my main switchboard suddenly. We still don't know why. I tried switching off the main breaker at the switchboard and back on again. Then the primary one outside didn't make a difference. So I shut down the inverter on the off-grid system and started up again, and a couple of minutes later power to the house came back on. So I don't know, but the NAS didn't like the sudden shutdown, so I couldn't talk to it again until this morning when I well, it wasn't talking out the original Ethernet port. Fortunately it's got two, so I connected the cable to the second one and looked up what DHCP address it got and connected to that, and all was well apart from drive 0 not working. Okay, so I changed around the port configuration and connected the cable up to the, connected the original address to the socket that the cable was plugged into and changed the other socket to DHCP. Fiddled around a bit more, powered the unit off, powered on again. Then it was rebuilding to drive 0. I thought, oh, this is good. Right, I'd actually moved it to another place to do this work, so I thought, okay, I'll shut it down again, move it back to the original position, power it up. Can't see drive 0 again. Restarted, no, still can't see drive 0. Took out drive 0, put it in a what do you call those? I forget what you call those, but drive caddy or drive dock or whatever. But anyway, plugged it into this computer and it said, yeah, it just needs formatting. So I formatted it, all good. Put it back in the NAS says, no, still can't see it. So now I've got to buy another one, I think, because the NAS is a bit fussy. So we can get those on Shopee, but $4.25 rupiah, which works out about $425. So not real cheap, but gotta do what you gotta do. Well, it's Friday, so I should probably do a look video. That camera up the West End has decided it only wants to play part-time. So Gib will replace the PoE switch at the bottom, the PoE splitter at the top, then went to the direct power injector splitter. I figure now it's got a bit of cable. I don't think it's the camera, but what I'll do is I'll make up a new cable. I'll figure out the length and then tie it to the old one and get Dadang or Azra to use it as a pull through to pull up the new cable up to the top and plug it in. We'll see what that does. But yeah, so that one's part-time, and the one on the southeast corner of the house is freezes constantly. So what I'm going to do with that is I'll replace the PoE splitter on that and see if that helps, because they seem to be a bit of a weak point. Apart from that, nothing else going on, so it's another short one.